Morning everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison and today we'll be looking at the charts as normal, we'll be looking at what's happening in the crypto world, looking at the markets and looking at a couple of news stories as well. And we'll be looking at sharing. Sharing is something I've spoken about before. I've written a report on them as well. I'll put a link down below for you for the report. And we'll kind of talk about sharing, what's happening with them just now. So it's just an update, what's happening with sharing, but it looks really exciting. Okay, let's get into the markets just now and see what's happening around the crypto world. Okay, so we have an overall market capitalization of 239 billion, or just close to 239 billion. Bitcoin dominance 65.8%, down slightly. Winners and losers, who have we got? We've got Bitcoin Gold. Bitcoin Gold have been 51% attacked and they're still managing to go up. Where's the logic? And that is kind of crazy. So it's up 25%, Bitcoin Gold. It's not a coin I would follow. It's not a coin I have any consideration. It's number 34 just now with a market cap of 223 billion. I don't rate it at all. And none of the Bitcoin derivatives, so the hard forks, I just don't rate at all. Bitcoin Gold being one of them, but 51% attacks and still manages to go up 25%. I don't understand that. Dragon Coins is up 19%, Quant is up 16%, Icon, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, Centrality, Bitcoin Diamond all up in double-digit greens as well. Who's the biggest losers? We have Molecular Future, just down 2.69%, and you can see there's only about eight of them that are, is it eight? Yeah, 8 that are in the red, but just in the red, so not by that much at all. But if we take it down to Satoshi value, kind of paints a different picture. So we're looking at Satoshi value. So as I've said before, we're looking at kind of 50-50 in Satoshi value. As I said before, because the USD value has gone up with Bitcoin, that's why all the altcoin USD value has gone up, and why we're not seeing all more reds there. Alicio Rastani, I don't know if you follow him. Definitely follow him. He's good. I think he's a good kind of trader. A good TA guy as well, and he does TA on Bitcoin. And I'm going to show you this just now. I don't know if it's going to work. If you just bear with me a second, I'll go back a wee bit.
And put that money into real estate. You know, why put your money into a depreciating asset class like a car? All right, guys, let's talk about Bitcoin. In this video, what I want to do is draw your attention to a chart of Bitcoin that I've been obsessing with for many months. I would say for the greater part of 2019. In fact, if you've been watching our member videos, which I hope you have, in the member videos, I kept mentioning this chart over and over to you in my previous member videos. And that is the monthly chart of Bitcoin. Why? Because guys, the monthly chart is a key, important chart we should always keep an eye on, especially one key level, the 21 EMA, the 21 moving average on the monthly time frame. Because usually markets often tend to pull back. So often you see a correction after a rally. After a major rally, like the one we saw in 2019, usually see a correction, a sort of pullback to the 21 moving average. And I mentioned this over and over again in our member videos. Here's an example for you.
But as long as we're above the 20, we can make a...
last year. And notice what I was saying was, I need to see the price of Bitcoin holding above that 21 EMA, the blue line I showed you in that chart. And guys, I was quite surprised to actually see Bitcoin holding above that level. I actually began to think that maybe Bitcoin won't hold it, maybe go below it. I thought the price might close below that level, but it didn't. Actually managed to hold that level and close just slightly above that level, above the 21 monthly moving average. Now, in case you're thinking, well, why is that important? The thing is, guys, that usually when price closes below the 21 monthly average, we see another move further lower, often to a 50 simple moving average, or perhaps even lower to previous support. So I'm actually quite happy to see that Bitcoin held above the 21 monthly average. We actually managed to bounce off that level, off that 21 moving average, and we saw a green bar, as a matter of fact, above that key level. So what does that mean? Well, it means that a break below that level could be absolutely detrimental for Bitcoin. Now, don't get me wrong here. I actually don't think that Bitcoin even has to approach that level or go below that level for a potential major reversal in the price. As I mentioned to you before, a key support level that I'm looking at right now is by the 8,200 or 8,000 levels there on Bitcoin. I think a close below those levels is make or break essentially for Bitcoin, really. But look, bottom line is, if Bitcoin does fall below the 21 monthly average, then it's really bad news for Bitcoin, because that essentially could push it into a bear market. It could essentially push it into another retest of prior lows near 3,000, and even if not those levels, perhaps to the 5,500 or to 4,000 levels on Bitcoin. So in other words, guys, holding the 21 monthly average is really going to be important for the long-term picture on Bitcoin. Again, this is more of a long-term perspective that we're looking at on Bitcoin. So it's really important that Bitcoin remains above the 21 monthly average, which currently is about 7,200, I think. But bottom line is, guys, a break below that level could be absolutely detrimental for Bitcoin. Now, I should say, I don't expect Bitcoin to drop below the 21 monthly average. I remain bullish on Bitcoin, but it's just something we should consider in case that.
So I do like Alessio Rastani's kind of videos. I think it does make sense a lot of the time as well when he's looking at the TA kind of point of view for Bitcoin. But we'll look at Bitcoin just now and see kind of what I've got just now. So this is the monthly. I was looking at the monthly as well. And this monthly line, you can see this long-term trend line. I've showed you before, many times before, and it's been held for the last 7 years or something, or support line, not trend line, but support line. Is holding here. So for me, if it drops below $7,000 for Bitcoin, then I'll be worried if it dropped below this line and stayed below this line as well. So unlike kind of what Alicia was saying, if it drops below the kind of support, the 21-month EMA support, which is around about the 7,000 level as well, I think you said there, then you'd be worried. But I'll be worried if it fell below this support line here. So I'm going to stick with this for long term. I think it's a really good kind of look at what we're doing. I'm just going to make sure we are live. Everything's okay. I think it's a really good, yeah, there must be something else that's kind of buzzing. Yeah, I think it's a really good kind of indicator to kind of look for, and look at this support line. The red line is what I've showed you before as well. This is what happened from 2015 to 2019, and I've just projected it onto 2019 to 2021. So yeah, this red line was what happened 2015 to 2019 and projected onto kind of what's happening just now, basically. So if we were kind of to look at this, we should be jumping up to about 13,400 just now. Not just now, but coming up in the next probably few months. And then going up before the halving. This is the halving line, this purple dotted line here. This is where the halving occurs. So we go up, come back down a wee bit, round to about 11,500. And then after the halving, we go back up to 18,000, then come down again. And then by February, March, but probably February 2021, we break through the previous highs of 20,000 quite significantly and go up to about 25,000. And then we're up again from there for a parabolic run. So we'll see what happens there. On the daily, we'll just look at it on the daily and go back to auto. So a good bounce from there. You can see this line here. If we kind of zoom out, this is a descending channel previously, and this was the upper resistance line. It broke through resistance, and now that is acting as support, which you'd expect it to, and it's doing really well for support from there. If it falls below here and gets back into this channel, then I'd be short-term worried for Bitcoin. Not worried, I'd just be I'd be bearish short-term if it fell below and came back into this descending channel. But for now, it's bouncing off that upper kind of resistance line, or now it's support, bouncing off that, and we should go higher from here. So it's going that way at the moment, 8,596. But as with anything with Bitcoin, we could just kind of break and dump maybe $500, $1,000, even get back right into the zone. As long as this support line holds, I wouldn't be too worried long term at all about Bitcoin, and it's looking quite bullish at the moment. Okay, a couple news stories. That was one of them I was wanting to look at. Another one, Satoshi Nakamoto's big Bitcoin prediction could prove to be wrong, says early cryptocurrency investor or developer. So the anonymous creator of Bitcoin may have been wrong about the cryptocurrency's fate, according to early Bitcoin developer Gavin Andresen. So what he said, first discovered Bitcoin in 2010, blah, blah, blah. Satoshi Nakamoto's prediction that Bitcoin will either have a high transaction volume or zero volume by 2030 could prove to be way off base, said Gavin Andresen. He's basically saying the computer scientist says the prediction ignores the possibility of a middle ground where Bitcoin is still used but remains a niche store of value. That's neither forgotten and abandoned nor fully mainstream. I think that's kind of what's going to happen as well. I'd agree with that as well by 2030. I don't think it's going to be a niche. I think it's going to be more in the mainstream. But I think we could have a middle of the road as well for Bitcoin, where it's still getting used. It's not completely disappeared. It's still getting used, but it's more kind of niche than other currencies as well. That was it. That's the kind of main part I wanted to look at there. This I thought was quite interesting as well. This is from MakerDAO. The spell has been cast. The new Dai Savings Rate is 7.75%. This is from MakerDAO. And this, I think this is quite interesting. This, if we look at this as well. Can I zoom in on that? That's not showing it just now. Yeah, this kind of shows you in real time. If you've got, I don't know if you've got the Oasis app wallet, but it shows you in real time your savings with Dai as well. So I think this could be really big. And if you think about 7.75%, imagine if you have $100,000 just sitting kind of in a savings account somewhere. You don't want to buy a government bond because they're all going to shit. You don't want to do savings in the bank, obviously, because the savings rate is crap. I heard on the radio the other day, I can't remember where we were about. I think it was when Julie Walters or something like that was talking about a savings rate of 1.25%. I'm thinking that is actually essentially a negative kind of interest, because if you get a savings rate of 1.25%, you've got the inflation of 2.5%, then you're actually losing money by saving or put money into a savings account. So why on earth would you do that? So 7.75%, if you've got kind of a lot of money and you're getting 7.75% a year compound, I think a lot of people would be interested in that. A lot of wealthy people and a lot of kind of institutions would be interested in that as well. And so if you've got $1 million and then you're getting 70,000 per year compounded as well, that's a good rate of return. 7.75, a lot of people would kill for that rate year in, year out. But whether it stays year in, year out, it's going to be a different kind of matter as well. But obviously they're lending and saving as well. So if you save with them, 7.75, they lend out the money at a higher rate, possibly, I don't know, 9.9 or 10% or something when they're lending out. That's how they make their money as well. But finance is going to be totally disrupted. This is going to be the big player in DeFi space as well, MakerDAO as well. This is how finance is going to be disrupted big time. This is how DeFi is going to come in as well. One indicator shows Bitcoin might have started another bull run, and this is from Alex Dovnia as well. I don't know why you today have got this. I don't know if there's something wrong with the website, but it's kind of went to this kind of mobile looking site just now. I'll refresh that, see if it's changed. Nope, it's not changed. So in his tweet, Anandran wrote, the Bitcoin managed to flip above the middle Bollinger Band on the weekly chart. So this is the Bollinger Bands. They're saying this figure could say is really bullish. It's flip above that middle of the road kind of Bollinger Bands. So they're saying it could go to the upper, which is around 10,000 here. So this line represents a simple 20-day moving average, which is situated between upper and lower bands. Historically, this has been a surefire indicator of bearish to bullish trend reversals for the number one cryptocurrency. So if we look at that and see what they're talking about. So when it's kind of flipped above that, we've seen kind of big, massive runs from 4,000 up to 13,000. This was previously. And then when it came down, it got to around about 10,000 and went all the way down to this kind of level, 6,000 level again. And now it's flipping up, saying it could go back up again to around about the 10,000 range. So historically, they're talking about that. History doesn't always repeat itself. So that's looking at the Bollinger Bands as well. Bitcoin Gold was 51% attacked again, around $71,000 in coins double spent. So they're just saying, damn, their second 51% attack. Now that's what you call a shitcoin. This is on kind of Reddit and a cryptocurrency channel. It's just, it kind of defies me what's been happening with it as well. Wow, how such a coin has any value is beyond me. This has been attacked 2 times. It's clearly not censorship resistant at all. It should ideally have no value whatsoever. And somebody's saying Wall Street is watching. So I don't understand about Bitcoin Gold, how it's gone up 25% as well. Bitcoin trading volumes continue increasing in troubled economic times. So the notion that Bitcoin could perform like a safe haven asset or hedge against a faltering global economy continues to be debated at length. However, the utility of the cryptocurrency in places where economies are already under strain, like Venezuela and Hong Kong, has been demonstrated in trading volume. So in several troubled countries, citizens are fretting as their savings and general currency holdings are quickly diminishing thanks to hyperinflation and other geopolitical reasons. Unrest in Venezuela, economic troubles in Argentina, and governmental protests in Hong Kong have seen citizens looking for alternative stores of value. And according to the data from the peer-to-peer Bitcoin trading platform Local Bitcoins, the increase in trading volumes is most prevalent in countries that are facing troubled economies, most notably in South America. And data comparing 2019 to 2018 also shows that as economies have suffered, so Bitcoin trading volumes have climbed. And we'll go all the way down to here. So Bitcoin volume, this is from Larry Cermak. Bitcoin volumes in Venezuela continue to outperform other troubled countries. Venezuela is 305 million, Colombia 134, Peru 45 million, Hong Kong 21, Chile, Argentina, Iran and Egypt as well. Bitcoin is a growing trend. We've got here growth of local Bitcoins volume in 2019 versus 2018. Egypt up 70%, Colombia up 60%, Peru up 47% or 48%, Argentina 44%, Chile 36%, Venezuela 33%. Hong Kong 18.5 is down 18.5 and Iran is down 52.1%. So just talking about the growth, and this is local Bitcoins volume as well, which the price is typically higher on local Bitcoins. So it is going up, the trend is going up, and they're saying the volumes going up as well as in troubled kind of times. So that could be a good indicator as well of the Bitcoin price, where it's going in the future, because there's loads of stuff going on in the world just now that's not good, to be honest. But we don't want it to go up just because of that. Obviously, we'd rather have less troubled times in the world. So, but it is an indicator, and it's in and of itself. That's it for now. So finished for just now. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Last one out, hit that like button as well, please. And until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.